Hi everyone, don't go anywhere. This is Ask an Autism Mom and I'm Jen Eggert of LuckyKid.com. Hi everyone and welcome back to Ask an Autism Mom Live. I'm Jen Eggert of LuckyKid.com and you can join me every Monday to go live to meet other parents, share your insights, and get some tips. Now if you know anyone who could use today's tips, please share the video on your timeline now or tag them in the comments below. And remember, all your likes and loves on our show really show us that we are helping people and what we're doing is worth it. Now, I'm just going to give a brief overview. I think we're having some technical difficulties. We are doing a show today on the benefits of flexible seating. Now, unfortunately, I am supposed to be working with a co-host today. I'm going to give him a few minutes to get in the show. There he is. Jason is with us today in show, and it might be a little crazy on Jason's end. He is going to be doing a few live demonstrations, if you can see the hopping child, with two of his children. There's Keanu being silly. So I want to welcome those of you watching live on Facebook or listening to the podcast on YouTube. If you want to get alerts to join us live and ask questions live, you can visit luckykid.com/live and type 5 in the comments. We also have a new landing page. Don't forget, it's luckykid.com/ask, A-S-K. You can join us there and post questions that I will try and answer on an upcoming show. That's our new landing page. It has more information. It has links. It has, I believe, Jason, it has our blog posts that'll be up on there once they're ready. The new landing page has pretty much everything. So welcome everyone to today's show. I see Angela, of course, is here. She always is. Now, if you're just joining us, we are going to be discussing flexible seating and its 5 main benefits. We can't wait to dig into this topic with you, but first, a huge shout out to our sponsors. Of course, our sponsor is luckykid.com, where you can get quality sensory tools for affordable prices. This is our newest product, one that Keanu will be showing us in a little bit. This is our balance ball chair. It has 5 legs that sit on the ground, and you can sit on it and bounce and rock a little bit. It is wonderful for alternative seating. So the 5 benefits of flexible seating. Most of us, we have that child that we look at and we think, how are you so wiggly? Can you sit down for 2 minutes and can I bottle some of your energy? Now, most adults also feel the need to move, but we see it more with children. We need to remember that if we need to move, we cannot punish our children for that need to move. I constantly need to move. So I understand that my children do too, and I try and make it in a more positive experience. With flexible seating, it allows for movement during classwork, homework, homeschooling, meals, doctor's appointments, and so much more. So today, Jason and I are going to go over the 5 benefits of active seating. And I want you to remember these benefits are good not only for the classroom, but for home, like I said, and other uses as well. Now, the first benefit is choice. Jason, do you want to talk a little bit about how the choice makes a huge difference?
Sure, definitely. So one of the key thing about having different choice, I think is huge. At least from the country where I'm from Taiwan originally. So in Taiwan, there's not a lot of choice as far as seating in the traditional classroom sense. The only choice I can remember when I was a kid is really a traditional desk and chair. And that's the only choice that was ever given to me when I was in school. So it's really a good option for the teachers or the parents to think about as far as providing different options for the kid to be sitting in. So we can kind of give them a more engaging environment that they can choose and pick and see what kind of seating option is best for them. Because every kid is different. For some kids, they might be fine with traditional seating arrangement. But for some kids, they do need some additional sensory input that's going to help them to focus better in the classroom. So, and that's kind of what we're striving to do here. So
now most of us remember being kids like you, where we sat in, there was about 20, 24 kids in a class. You had like 4 or 6 rows of desks, and that's all you had. You didn't move. You sat in the same desk for every single lesson. And what we're trying to do is change that, give them choices for different lessons. Now, the next major benefit is movement. And as you can see, Keanu in the background loves to move. He is a very wiggly worm. So, Jason, do you want to talk about how movement is important to you and to Keanu?
yeah, I think that is actually a very common issue with our modern day society. If you really look at a day-to-day life in any kind of kids that's in school age, majority of their life is spending sitting on the chair pretty much. Even with a PE, it's only once a week. So you are talking about very limited amount of time that kids can just be running around and really having a lot of movement incorporating in their life. And that applied a lot in the classroom setting, which like I mentioned earlier, in the traditional sitting arrangement, majority of the time will be sitting in one place. We allow a lot of moving around, and what we're trying to do here is really provide them with additional movement. So it's another great way for them to kind of use up their energy, so to speak. As you can see, my son jumping in the background, but the one more thing about movement, I think is really important as far as implementation of flexible seating, which we talked about in the previous shows. It's nice to have the equipment, but it's also very important to create a certain set of expectations between the kids, between the teachers. You kind of need to have certain rule in place before you even start thinking about in implementation of flexible seating or active seating or however you want to call it. So.
Now, I just want to say, if you are a teacher and you are watching us, let us know. And if you're thinking about flexible seating, we will help you figure a way to implement it in your classroom. We are more than willing to help any teachers work through that process. Now, another thing I want to say is, for the whole movement thing, when kids are not allowed to move, then they become a distraction and a disruption to the entire classroom. We can see Keanu in the background. He is moving. He is he's distracting his sister, obviously. So he is disrupting the class. So by giving him a more harnessed movement, we are allowing him to still move, but without distracting everyone else. Now, Jason, comfort I know is important for you. The children being able to be comfortable.
Yeah, so the other thing about being comfortable is traditional sitting. I mean, even for myself, sitting in an office sometimes, it's hard for me to sit for like 2 or 3 hours straight. And you're talking from experience of like an adult, but for a kid, that could be even harder to be sitting on the chair for like an hour straight doing the lectures. So having just bring the sense of comfort is really make. If you don't have a sitting that's as comfortable, it could be really distracting and very unproductive for the kids. And by allowing that sense of different sitting, it can make the kids' life to be more focused and more productive by having them to do kind of mental like transitions between activities by using different equipment inside the classroom or in the home setting will be inside of your study room. So that I think that is another thing that we are trying to introduce by providing different piece of equipment, so the kids can choose from, pick and choose from to see which one they feel most comfortable about using.
That's wonderful. And another thing is, with the whole comfort thing, we're really allowing them the opportunity to feel safe in the classroom. And when they feel safe, then that's when they really learn. That's when they really absorb information. Now, And the next benefit is allowing them to work together.
So I think this is also very important because if you think on a lot of kids on the spectrum, even for my son, a lot of the common struggle that they have is actually social interactions. They don't know when is a good time to engage in social activities with other kids. And that's one of the things that my son, a therapist, is actually working with him on during his APA sessions, is trying to facilitate like a friendly environment that he can try to initiate play with other kids. And one more thing that by introducing different equipment is just another way. For example, one of the example I can think of is really doing circle time. They can sit on different pieces of equipment that they can kind of interact and just kind of play with each other. And this is really nice if they can be working in a group or pairs, and it really allow for more social interactions than the traditional seating options. So
Now, I just want to follow up with what you said for later in life. When we're adults, we are expected to work in groups. We are expected to work in pairs. Jason and I and the Lackey Kid team work together quite frequently on everything we do. So by giving them the tools young to learn how to do group work in small groups and pairs, it allows them to later bring it into later life, where as an adult in the workplace, it's expected that we be able to work in pairs and in small groups.
yeah, definitely.
So by allowing them to work together now, they're building the skills for later in life, which to me is extremely important. Now we're going to talk about sensory input.
So for sensory input, I think it's kind of similar to the point we're trying to make regarding about a movement. But with sensory input, like a lot of kids that are on the spectrum also have sensory issues like sensory processing disorders. And sometimes they can be getting too much input or they can be not getting enough input. It's really a two different side of the spectrum that we need to think about when we're trying to help the kids in their natural learning environment. So I think the first thing is really think about, is your kid a sensory seeker or is your kid a sensory avoider? So by starting out doing some observation to see which side of the spectrum that your kids are on, you can try to incorporate different strategy or different equipment or different tool that can really help them based on their sensory needs.
Now, Jason, I know you and Lackey Kid has worked very hard to provide a variety of tools for flexible seating, and I know your kids are excited to show them off for us today.
Yeah, definitely. So I just want to do a quick demonstration today. If you don't mind, let me change my camera angle really fast. So, okay, yeah, so what, let me see. Can you see me okay?
Yes, you're good, Jason.
Can you see me? So one piece of equipment that we have is Lucky Kid Fidget Band. So it's a very easy equipment that you put in front of the two legs of the chair. It kind of work a similar idea as any kind of fidgeting toys that you can potentially have. But the concept behind this particular product is trying to design the product to be less distractions in the classroom settings. So if you think about a fidget spinner, for example, a lot of classroom nowadays actually prohibit the kids to use a fidget spinner in the classroom because how distracting it is to the other kids. So the idea behind this particular product is trying to give kids different way of fidgeting without them being a distractions to the other kids in the classroom. So it's a very easy setup, and it's really just like a huge rubber band that you put in front of the chair. So that's one equipment that we have that people can consider when they are thinking about different way of they want to provide for their kids in the classroom or home setting.
Perfect. Now, I know you try and aim for products that are quiet so that the teacher doesn't have a lot of distraction.
Yes, yeah, of course. So that's
the next, Kiana, you want to show the ball chair for me now? We'll go to that one next if you'd like.
Okay, sure.
Because Kiano's ready. Can you show me how you use it?
So you can turn the balance ball chair upside down, almost like a bouncy ball. It could be a kind of a physical activity for the kids. Or can you turn it back? Or you can use it as a chair just to sit on. So the idea of having additional leg underneath the balance ball, so when the kids is not sitting on it, the ball is not going to roll around in the classrooms. So it's easier for classroom management, or easier for the equipment management for the teacher or for the parents.
Keanu, can you show me the fun thing that you can do on there when you lay on your belly and you look like you're Superman?
That's a little bit harder to do.
What he's doing now, folks, is he is working his legs and his arm muscles and balancing his core to get him in that position. That is a fun activity that Keanu enjoys because we know Keanu loves the Avengers. So anything where he could be a superhero is good for Keanu. Okay, can we see the wiggle seat now? Keanu, can you get the wiggle seat for Daddy? Oh, you're going to show me? Thank you.
Wiggle seat it's a very commonly used equipment in a lot of classrooms nowadays. And the way we are using it right now, you have two different textures. On the top is more of a poking point spike, and on the other side have a little bit softer or smaller palm, so it doesn't give the kids as much sensory input. So you can kind of adjust and change which surface you want to use. As far as the wiggle seat depends on how much sensory input that your kid is needed. And it's also a great equipment to use during circle time. And actually, my son's teacher actually used it in circle time as well as him. That it's kind of like a spot marker, so the kids know where they are supposed to go. And you can just put it on the floor as like a location indicator that's where the kids need to go to during the circle time or doing other group activities.
And the one thing I love about the wiggle seat is the fact that you can inflate it with more air to give more sensory input, or you can do less air to give less sensory input. So it does really change with your child.
Yeah, definitely. All the wiggle seat come with an air pump that you can adjust it to put more air or less air. So I have another helper here.
You have your other helper today. This is all three of Jason's wonderful kids who have decided that they want to help Daddy today. Now, Keanu, can you show me one more time how you bounce? See how Keanu's rubbing his feet in the Fidget Band? Folks, he is able to do so many different things with his feet. He likes to be busy. Keanu likes to move quickly and be busy, so he likes that he can kick it quickly. Now, Jason, I want to get into Lackey Kid and what makes us so different as a company.
Yeah, definitely. So the idea of Lucky Kid is we want to be more of an education company more than a product company. So what really makes us different is the show that everyone's currently watching right now, and also the parent support group that we have created for our audience. So what we are really trying to do is to fill the gap between having the product and know how to use the product. So a lot of other product company out there, they only talk about the product, they talk about the benefit, but not a lot of them is talking about how to use them correctly in the classroom setting. Not a lot of them is talking about how to correctly implement a different strategy using the product. So that's one thing that we really want to do that makes us different. And just so if people is not aware, the entire backstory of Lucky Kid, it was created because my family was going through a similar struggle that everyone that have kids on the spectrum is going through, is trying to find the right support and trying to find the right information That's just a lot of information out there that you can find on either Google or you can find it on YouTube. But sometimes a lot of those information is not really well organized enough. That is it's really a huge struggle for the parent to figure out what is the first thing they need to do, and also what is the thing they can do depends on the different situation. So that's kind of what we want to create here is, of course, we are still working on making our content a little bit more searchable and a little bit easier to navigate. But in the future, we'll be creating different series of educational content that is really designed to help the parents during a different phase of their journey. So.
Now, as you can tell, Jason's baby loves to sit on the ball chair and have him hold her and bounce her. That seems to be very calming for her, and she's only little. Now, Jason, I know we just launched our new landing page. So when you go to lackykid.com/ask, what can you expect to see?
Yeah, so what we created here is to like a easy one-time shop that you can learn anything that our company is offering, including the show, including different ways to participate during the show, and also you can watch the replay when you visit this page. And again, it's luckykid.com/ask. And you can also, we are still working on uploading all of our previous show onto podcasts. So in the future, you can able to listen to the episode on the podcast as well. But one of the very nice thing about this is if you go to the bottom of that page, you can go ahead and leave us the questions that is that you have with anything during your autism or special need journey. Just leave us a question, then we'll try to incorporate it in one of our upcoming show. We'll try to either interview an expert in that field that can answer your questions, or we can try to answer that question based on our best ability. So it's just another way that we're trying to get more feedback and get more opinion back from our audience.
Perfect. Now, I'm going to jump to any questions. If you have any questions for Jason or myself, please post them in the comment section now. Jason, we have Melissa Cox who said, "You have such great helpers today."
Yeah, it is kind of a stressful situation trying to get everything set up and have the kids ready sometimes.
But they're doing great today. Yeah. Now, we have Jessica who says that they love the wiggle seat. Their son uses it every day and it does help him sit still for everything. I agree, Jessica. The wiggle seat has changed so much. And we have Melinda who says that she loves everything and she loves that the children, it's not just a seat. The children can actually learn to enjoy sitting and learning. If there's any other questions, please ask them now. If not, remember, go to lackykid.com/ask. You can leave it in the questions section there, and I will answer it on an upcoming show. Keanu, are you being silly again? Keanu is very much so the one that loves attention and loves to show off.
Yeah.
I think someday his plan is to take over Lackey Kid from his dad and he'll do the videos. Because he loves YouTube and he loves his videos. We see you. So, because there's no other questions, I'm going to close off the show for today. I want to thank you for joining us. And Jason, thank you for joining us, even though you had your hands full with 3 busy helpers and what looks like 1 sleepy helper.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. Remember, I'm Jen Eggert, and you can join me live every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern to share insights, meet other parents, and learn some tips and tricks. If you have any questions, go to our new landing page, lackykid.com/ask. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.